There. We finally collected all of the Master Cores. So what do we do now?
It is said that bringing all the Master Cores together in one place should form the Renis Alma.
So, now we put Shion's with the rest.
With that, we can finally free her of her thorns.
Well, go ahead. So hers is the Master Core of Fire, but Balfin, Balfour, Balsif also had a Master Core of Fire. So what's up with that? Oh, I guess hers is. I guess she did have the Master Core of Fire.
Are we missing something?
We can't be. So why isn't it?
Alphen! Behind you!
Oh, of course. Oh man, I knew there was. I noticed there was somebody next to the throne. Yeah, you're a bit close, ma'am. No.
What is this?
They made him fulfill his destiny the whole time. Or something.
The Master Cores!
Is that darkness? A dark Master Core?
God, this story is such a clusterfuck.
Renis Alma!
The Renis Alma. It's here.
What's going on? The Renis Alma's only supposed to consist of the 5 Danon elements.
What do you think you're doing?
She disappeared?
What in the world just happened?
We don't know because the game hasn't told us yet.
No. It's only just begun.
What do you mean by that? Liberator of Dana.
A month has passed. For the time being, we decided to stay put in Ganeth Harros. Even with their lord toppled, we had a long way to go before the people of Pelegion would be liberated in their hearts and minds. Lenegus hung ominously over our heads. We knew we'd need to deal with it sooner or later. We still had so many questions. The two sovereigns, the Red Woman and the Renaissance, the present and the past of 300 years ago. Not to mention what happened to Volron's body after his defeat. Still, we were determined to keep fighting. I had my hands full taking care of everything. But in some ways, I was kind of grateful to be so busy.
Are you all right? You looked like you were spacing out there.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. You need something?
It's about that citizen's petition. I was coming to talk to you about it. If I'm being honest, I think the problems of this realm's Danans hit close to home for me.
Oh?
You saw how things were in Menancia. We might
All
have
that
put
shit
way too
was
much
the
faith in
prologue,
Dohalim,
man. We'll see,
but
huh?
at least we could still think independently. The people of this realm weren't even afforded that much basic dignity. I don't know what kind of future the people here are going to ultimately choose. But whatever it is they decide, I want to help do my part so they can make that decision of their own free will.
You mean like how the Danans and Renans of Menancia chose to remain committed to coexistence? It'd be nice if this was a step towards that dream.
That's another issue altogether. At the very least,
Sorry,
I
man,
wanna
but the end
believe
is in
all our
another
hard work
castle.
will pay off
The
in
end is tied behind a $10 paywall.
Yeah. I guess we can only focus on what we can do right now and take it from there.
I'm going to go on ahead. Would you mind talking to Shion for me? Once you're ready, we'll meet up at the castle entrance like usual. We can talk more there.
Right. Got it.
Like, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Okay, well, we got a title out of it, The Power of a Sovereign, so maybe this was only the first half of the game? God, I hope so, because I'm gonna be really sad, idealist, if that was it, because it was so unsatisfying. Vacuum blades. Party disbanded.
Shion's been hanging out in the observatory a lot lately.
Yeah, almost 10,000
Let's see if
experience.
she's up there.
Yeah, maybe I'm counting my chickens before they've hatched. I hope I'm wrong, because that would be just so lame. Buy the Tales of Arise Risen pack with the full game, only $9.99. Fuck that, dude. Can you imagine? I would truly lose my faith in gaming. Like, at that point, we'd have to become like, or I would have to become like an indie developer to make games that I would like to play, because like, this shit is ridiculous. If that's the case. We'll see what happens. Play through on New Game Plus to do a little better each time.
Is something going on?
Sounds like it. Kisara wants us all to meet at the castle entrance.
You, okay?
Taking in the view again?
Yeah. Looking at the scenery helps take my mind off things.
Like what?
Being a maiden. Whether I really am a descendant of Naori. Those kinds of things.
So, are you mad at me?
For what?
I destroyed the Renaissance. Right as you were about to get rid of your thorns forever.
Why did you destroy it?
When I saw it appear in front of me, it reminded me of what happened back on Lenegus. And the rest was... it was all just a blur. I'm sorry.
Watch the ending of the game for watch the official anime.
It must have been a pretty terrible memory.
Or watch the official anime for the ending of the
Besides,
game. Like, fuck
we
that.
don't know that the Renis Alma actually was destroyed. For all we know, it might have disappeared with that red woman.
If so, then why are
Don't.
you...
It's okay. You brought me back. You got me away from Volron. That's enough for now. Let's get going. We shouldn't keep everyone waiting.
Hey, Shion.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. But if you come any closer, you'll only end up getting hurt.
Because of your thorns, you mean? Trust me, I've endured...
No, that's not it.
I mean emotionally,
don't
because I can't
understand.
love you.
Never mind. Sorry, just forget I said anything, okay?
If it isn't your thorns, does that mean there's something else?
It's just... It's nothing, really, okay? So you can stop asking me.
Okay. In that case, I'll see you up ahead, okay?
God, people are so fucking clueless. Head to Pelagian level 3. To almost 10,000 experience and none of us leveled up. Like, that's kind of nuts. Tired of grinding? Make sure to buy an experience boost. Volron 2 is a bearer of the Sovereign's power, or whatever. We didn't know who the Red Woman was, or why any of this. Why anything. Pelagian level 3. I guess I could fast travel there, but... If this is the end of the game, we might as well make the most out of it.
Guess I misread the landing.
I know that Narrate was what eventually, either her name was like Mal, it's not Merity. Merity was the name of the little girl. Merity's mom. I can't ever think of her name. But, yeah, her mystic art. That was so sweet. The Red Woman. Mysterious woman donned in red. I mean, she was there next to the throne. Nobody said anything. I mean, I said something, but... So what happens to all the energy when a lord dies? That their core seems to become inactive when you beat them. I don't know. Like, the game hasn't really told us anything so far, which is why it's kind of frustrating. Like, if this is the end of the game, it's like super frustrating that nothing was answered. And as good as the combat has been, it's not enough for me to feel satisfied that like none of my questions were answered and it was just one long cluster.
Oh, it's you two. I suppose that makes me the last one then.
We better get a move on or else we'll never hear the end of it from Kisara.
Right you are. A month has passed since we vanquished Volron.
That's good to know.
That the Renans on Lenegis would have made their move by now. Yet they still remain as silent as ever. We have no idea what happened to Volron's body, nor its whereabouts. The Red Woman also has yet to reappear, for that matter. And contrary to what I had heard, when the Renis Alma formed, not 5, but 6 elements were present, with darkness constituting the 6th and final Master Core. Were either of you aware of this?
You mean about the Renis Alma? Of course not.
Haven't been aware of anything, dude.
I had no idea
That's the
a
problem.
darkness Master Core even existed.
What about Shion's maiden powers?
No. That was the first I learned about that, too. Or anything about having that power.
Me too. I remember thinking the same thing.
Maybe all the Renans on Lenegis
all
are also
mean, I
slaves
wonder?
for the Dark Master
There
Core.
are so many
Maybe.
questions with too few answers, particularly when it comes
Hopefully
to that
we
Red
find
Woman
out.
and her abilities.
Were it any other ability that used astral energy, I'd say it was an astral art. But hers was... different.
Speaking of astral energy, we also mustn't forget that while the other Master Cores disappeared when forming the Renis Alma, for some reason the Fire Master Core remained. It may well have been the work of your maidenly powers. Alphen, are you still able
astral
to wield
fart.
the blazing sword as before?
Good one.
For now, at least. That Renis
He's
Alma
good.
sucked most of the energy out of the Fire Master Core, but it still has enough for me to use the sword.
And the sword is safe inside of me for the time being.
Good. At least that's one thing we needn't concern ourselves over.
You can say that again. We have more than enough to deal with as it is. Let's go.
Hey, wait up!
I heard we are all to meet at the castle entrance.
I feel like her name starts with an S. Gates to eternal void, show your passage.
This is Ganya, who has a problem he needs help with. I was just about to ask him what that problem is.
Alright then. Tell
Chazelle,
us what's on
thank
your
you,
mind,
dude.
Anya.
I'm hungry.
Oh,
You're hungry. Where are your rations? Did you not get yours?
Merity's mother, which was the big twist in that game.
I did.
And she's like biracial. She's like half of whatever the aliens on her planet are called, and her father was from
Are they not enough?
Reed's planet.
No, I have enough.
And racism caused a mob to kill the father, and it made Chazelle go crazy.
Then what's the problem?
Alphen, you have to remember, these people aren't used to responding so...
Oh, right. I forgot. So you have your rations, and it's enough food.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Do your rations...
I don't know.
What's that?
I haven't eaten them.
Wait.
If you're bringing them into the castle,
What? Why?
everyone in my group is doing it. I don't know who told us to do it. They only said to bring the rations into the castle.
Is that Luke's
Guess
voice?
None of us told them to do it, or else we'd know, right?
I was afraid that something like this might happen. The people in this capital are slowly regaining their own...
Are you saying someone who got their will back sooner might be taking rations from other people?
Definitely. This is something we can't ignore.
Oh, okay, so our first job after all this is to do a goddamn side quest.
Seems like the people here still tend to blind.
Good to
Hey,
know.
Remind me, just what exactly are we all doing here?
What do you mean? We're helping people, aren't we?
Could have fooled me. Lately, it feels like everything we're doing ends up half-baked. We liberated the people of Pelegion, but their hearts and minds are no less under the yoke than the day we found them. As for Volron's cronies, we have no idea where they scampered off to.
You think I don't already know all that? We're doing everything we can, aren't we?
Just talking out loud to myself,
We
jeez.
didn't choose to get stuck here. Sometimes you have to play the hand you're dealt. Besides, you've seen all the same things I have. You know as well as I do that deposing the lords alone won't solve all the world's problems.
Rinwell's right. We've gotten this far, haven't we? We can't just leave things unfinished now.
I guess? I mean, I didn't think we'd be singing around the campfire as soon as the wall came down, but still.
The fight isn't over just yet. At least not while Lenegis remains a threat.
I'm just sick of all this waiting. If they're gonna invade, why don't they get a move on already?
Stop that! Don't you think we've got enough problems as it is?
It's time
without
for
you
us to
tempting
invade
fate?
them. All this plot.
Spot something?
It isn't answering my
Oh,
questions.
no. Just wondering if I could see any armored guards.
Armored guards? You mean Volron's soldiers?
The moment we defeated their lord,
guards.
all those guys bolted out of there. And not just out of the castle either. The city, too. For better or worse, it was the guards who looked after the city's stand-ins. Without them, making Pelegion half-habitable again has been one big headache.
It's not like they were on their last legs. They could have chosen to stay and fight, but instead they ran away and disappeared without a trace.
But without a lord to follow, they can't have any place to go. Unless... You don't think they went to Lenegis, do you?
It's not completely out of the question. Though I'd say it's more likely they're biding their time
I
somewhere.
think a
just
playthrough of
waiting for
Tales
the
of
perfect
Eternia
moment to
is on the
strike back at us.
horizon.
The people here in Pelegion are nowhere near ready to defend themselves. Great. Another headache to worry about.